before the show starts.
Because once we sit down, you guys are here or the guests are here, you're revved up, ready to go. I'm shot out of a cannon, and now the powder is dry. He's going to start the show.
Right. We're going to play our intro.
Would anybody like to be my co-host?
All right. Now, of course, I get the blame.
You know why? It's your fault.
Right. It's my fault. No, actually, we're gonna play the intro. We have an intro, original music by Jackie. Then we do the show. And we have an outro.
Me, Peter.
I mean,
that didn't work.
He's a little angry right now, but that's normal.
I
for
never
stand-up.
get angry.
No, it's great.
I get even.
It's great. No, it was a great story. So many people could have heard it if we were live.
We better be rolling now.
No, I'm waiting for the signal.
Are we rolling now?
Well, we're ready.
Yes, but I need you. We're going to roll the intro so that.
Nobody cares about the intro.
Okay.
We're going to roll the intro. All right.
This is live.
You'll sit here like idiots staring at these people while you play the intro.
Ready? Quiet on the set.
Smile at each other.
I wonder what this button
And we are on live.
Now wait.
Live. This is, I'm with a live audience. We are here.
Does that mean the intro is playing now?
The intro has played, and this is,
How long was it?
it was our, all right, it was our regular intro. It's played, and here we are, premiering our 4th season of Stand Up Memories. I'm Peter Bales. This is Jackie the Joke Man Martling.
If you think this is bad, you should have seen us in rehearsal.
Now, Jackie, before we started going live, told a great story when he thought we were on, but he's got a million great stories.
We started doing Stump the Joke Man on the Howard Stern show. Actually, we're doing Stump the Comedian, and then I got named the Joke Man by Rick Dees, who's a DJ in Los Angeles. And I started doing it at my shows. And it was so much fun because it was a no-lose proposition. Because I really do know a lot of the jokes, and I can figure most of them out. And the truth be told, the jokes that people would ask would be the jokes that are going around, you know? And people wouldn't really be prepared. And sometimes I could just figure them out. But it was a no-lose proposition, because every time I got the joke, the audience went wild. But when somebody told me a joke I didn't know, they went nuts. There was a no-lose proposition. But there's some great stories, which I will tell one. When I was on the Stern show, I was fat, like now. And I did Nutrisystem and lost 20 pounds. When they first came on the scene in 1986, Howard was the first person. I lost like 20, 25 pounds, made a lot of money from the company, and then gained the weight back. A couple years later, they want to do it again. I lost another 20 pounds. And of course, it came back. And then I did it again because I was going to host a comedy show. So I was playing Stump the Joke Man at this place called Club Benet, a mafia club in New Jersey, 700 people, a big rectangle, ideal place for stand-up. And I'm playing Stump the Joke Man, and I'm burying him. I'm knocking him down, and the crowd's going nuts. It's funny, when it's a good story, you're still there. And a guy way back in the corner says, "Yo, what goes down but always comes back up?" And I'm like, what a simple joke. But for the life, I could not, I drew a blank. And I said, "I give up what?" He said, "Your friggin' weight." And I'm telling you, the roof came off the place, because they love to see me get beat up like that. And they had all listened to the show and watched it go up and down. It was so great.
Well, we all know the best comedy is based in truth.
What?
Never mind. And Jackie did give away, we have these terrific Stump the Joke Man t-shirts. These are very, very high quality t-shirts.
Yes.
You wash them once, they make delightful little hand puppets for the children.
Now, is that fair? Is that really fair?
But we are going to talk a little bit about what we did in our first 3 seasons, and then we're going to play Stump the Joke Man.
So I'm playing Stump the Joke Man at a place called the Upper Deck, which was a cellar in New Jersey. Figure that out. And I'm playing Stump the Joke Man, and I'm kicking ass and kicking ass and kicking ass. And again, a guy in the back the upper deck. I'm sure you worked.
I did.
This guy goes, "Where's your license plate?" And once again, I'm stuck, right? I said, "I give up." And the guy holds up my license plate and runs out of the goddamn bar. And I heard from people, after, you know how bartenders have all the knickknacks behind the bar? By the next week, the joke man license plate was behind the bar. But, but it's a funny story, but that son of a bitch.
But we go back to probably 1979.
Peter used to come see my band. He hated our music, but there was always lots of girls there. Did I lie?
No, that's actually true.
Okay.
At a place called Rum Runners in Oyster Bay. Some of you were nodding that you remember it. And Jackie was in a band, and you started doing comedy by doing jokes in between the songs.
I'd always done that. And there isn't a musician I played with that didn't hate my guts. In high school, in college. We're in college playing Rolling Stones and Rod Stewart and a great band with Hammond organ with Leslie and rock and roll. We're killing in between songs. I'm telling dick jokes. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. There's a lot of people here. You know, it seemed like a good idea at the time."
Yeah, and that worked out well because the rest of the band said to Jackie, "I think we're going to go in a different direction."
Like that way.
Like that way.
What are you going to do?
So, how many of you have been able to see our podcast, Stand Up? Okay, so we started...
Lie.
Lie, just act like you've heard of it. We started out the whole first season talking to each other and sharing memories about growing up on the North Shore. We're kind of North Shore snobs, born in East Norwich, and Bayville is where he lives now. Definitely North Shore.
The North Shore of Long Island is a very odd place because, like, especially Bayville, you could be at a bar and sitting here is a clam digger and sitting here is a billionaire. And it's not obvious who's who because there's so much wealth on the North Shore. And when people found out I was from the North Shore of Long Island, they were like, "Whoa, my grandfather was a blacksmith. I mean, his blacksmith barn was on our property because somebody had to take care of these wealthy people." And it eventually all melded together. But it's so funny, people assume that everybody from up there, like, whoa. You know, one time when I just started comedy, I was so depressed. And my good friend Bob Burford said to me, "How can you possibly be depressed? You live on the North Shore of Nassau County, on the Gold Coast of Long Island. You're a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male. You live better than 99.9% of the world's population. How can you be depressed?" And I said, "Because the other 0.1% are my neighbors."
That's a great joke, and he's right.
I wish it was a joke.
And I'm another white Anglo-Saxon Protestant comedian. And it's true, I grew up in Locust Valley, where people, right. Where
Locust Valley, the people told each other their phone numbers just with 4 digits because it understood that it was OR6 or 676.
That's right.
"What's your number?" 3849.
Back in the day, it was letters, OR6.
OR6.
And people did talk like Thurston Howell III, and...
No, he talked like them.
He did.
They were there first.
But we have to remember now that there are younger people who actually don't get that reference. Most of you do get the reference.
No, a lot of them
but
know
we
where
had
Locust Valley is.
Young guy right here. How old are you right there?
22.
22. What does Thurston Howell refer to? Ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand for being 22 years old and never having heard of Gilligan's Island.
Get this man a sandwich.
Now you make a reference that we've never heard of. That should be easy.
Yeah, I'm confused. What's going on right now?
All right. Well, if you didn't hear watching at home, he said, "I'm confused. What's going on right now?" And
We're going to watch it. You're about to get a book.
We're going to. Now, what's happening here is you're calling attention to the crisis in American education, okay, and what's going on in our schools, and you'll be fine. What I thought was you could name
Pass
a
me the-
band
pass me the
that
wet
we would
blanket.
not know.
Pass me the wet blanket.
That's easy.
Name a band that we don't know and that most people here don't know because you're so young.
Lincoln Park?
Lincoln, well, I've heard of Lincoln Park. All right, that was a wrong person to call on.
I played in band in college, and after college, we still played together, and we played, I don't know if it has any correlation, we played at a place, a suburb of Detroit, named Lincoln Park. And these people were just a little at a time, and they were motorcycle hoodlums that had just discovered LSD. And you want to talk about a horror gig, and I swear to God, one night we're up there and we're going full tilt. War, sister, it's just a shot away. And these people are beating the crap out of each other right in front of us, and the owner's going, keep playing, war! So that's my Lincoln Park. Now, are those guys from Lincoln Park, Detroit?
I have no idea. I was just saying.
You know,
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay. Jackie sings that song, War. And I'm thinking
No,
about my first wife. That was our wedding song. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Now, our second season.
That's not fair to make marriage jokes. My parents were literally married on the 4th of July, and that's when the fireworks started. I swear
you
to
go.
God. It's all the same. It's
You know,
all the same.
every comedian is affected by their parents, and a lot of people become comedians because of their parents. And my parents were older, World War II father, Depression era. And when I started in stand-up comedy, my father had no idea what I was doing. And he came up to me and he said, I got a joke for you. And I said, you do? What is it? And he goes, I met my girl in a revolving door and we started going around together. And I looked at him and I said, Dad, I'm going to open with that. I think that's terrific.
In my whole life, my father told me probably 5 jokes, maybe a few more, and they are all not repeatable and great fun. But there was one joke he told me that I'd never thought of till this second that I actually can repeat. The guy goes and he says, the farmer goes and says, Doc, I don't know what to do. Sometimes when I'm out in the field, all of a sudden I get crazy for my wife, and I'm ready. I am so ready. By the time I get back to the farmhouse, I'm just not ready. He says, well, I'll tell you what you do, Farmer Jones. What you do is take a shotgun with you out into the field. And that way, when you get the urge, fire off the shotgun, and she can come running out to the field, and you can have your way with her. Farmer says, that sounds fine. A month later, he runs into the doctor in town, and the doctor says, well, how's it going? How'd it work out? He says, well, Doc, everything was going fine till hunting season came and she run herself to death.
Classic.
And that's my father telling me the joke.
That's a class, and that's his father, you know.
Long before the days of let's do comedy or anything.
See, your father could tell a joke. My father said to me, my sister married an Irishman. I said, oh, really? He goes, no, O'Reilly. That's the level. That's the level that I was dealing with.
Which is fine.
So in our second season, we talked to a Long Island historian named John Blen, and we talked to some agents and managers.
Asians?
An Asian manager. We talked to Rory Rosegarden, who is Ray Romano's agent, who opened up about how important that end of the business is. And then I think we really hit our stride in season 3 when we started talking to stand-up comedians.
Yeah, we stopped talking to each other so much. We did like 25 shows, just me and him. Because we thought it was so interesting.
I really got to know Jackie on a level that was truly frightening.
Luckily, I didn't let him say anything. But then we got all these guys, and everybody is so interesting. And the devil's in the details. You talk to not just a comic, you talk to anybody and dig in a little bit. It is always, always interesting. And but then, to me, the quantum leap was when we started talking to comedians and their spouses, like a comic and his wife, and then we had a comic and her husband, and spectacular.
That was spectacular. We're going to do more of that. You know, we had Long Island comedian Joey Cola here with his wife Leonora, and they were remember we had no money and you had no bookings and we had no furniture in the house and we hugged each other and we said, you know, we're in this together and we're going to keep going. We had
Peter's thinking, that's me today.
Okay. See, part of the show is when Jackie hurts me. Genuine. No, oh, come on, I'm joking. It's all comedy. Look at him.
Mo never really hurt Curly.
Actually, do you know that I know a story about this? Mo actually, the Three Stooges went on the Tonight Show, and they were doing their act, and Mo slapped Larry, and Larry started bleeding from the mouth. He's dabbing it with a handkerchief because they were on the Tonight Show. They didn't know that they were going to be slapping each other. Mo left his ring on. He wouldn't have worn a ring when they were slapping. Think about it. That actually happened once.
All those years pent up. Take that, you
But see, we free flow, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I have a favorite joke that Jackie does, and I try to tell it, and I can't tell it like he tells it, and when I tell it, people look at me like dogs, kind of their heads. I think I've told you this is my favorite joke. I want to see you guys laugh at this show.
You can't say, I want to see you laugh, like they'll project that whole thing like if you don't laugh, you're not getting any
It's not a
chicken
joke.
wings.
I think, I don't know, it's just my weird sense of humor. Do you know the joke I'm talking about?
No, of course not. I don't listen to you. Give me a clue.
All right, a father and son in the countryside
Keep going.
have got to clean out the outhouse. You know this.
The son says, Pop, I went to college. I learned there's an easy way to do everything. So they go down to the hardware store and they get some dynamite and they rig it up under the outhouse because they're going to blow the turds into the strawberry patch. No, this is true. So they get the dynamite rigged up under this is the joke you're talking about.
Yes.
They get it rigged up under the outhouse and they're all ready to go. They don't see, here comes Grandma to use the outhouse. Bottom! The turds go flying. Here goes Grandma. Boop, boop. And she lands in the strawberry patch and they can't believe it. They go run up and, Grandma, Grandma! Are you all right? Are you all right? She says, yeah, I'm fine. Woo! I'm certainly glad I didn't let that one go in the kitchen.
It works for you.
It's a great joke.
That's a great joke.
It's a horrible joke.
So how come I do the punchline and people go, what?
You probably leave stuff out.
I probably left stuff out.
There's so many things that happen in the course of a stupid comedy career, and we always talk about this. You get comics on the show, or other show business people on the show. Nobody talks about success, or the great night they had at this theater, or the great night they had when they sold out 2 shows here. Everybody talks about the nightmares, the horror shows, or the things that go wrong, and they're always so interesting. And he just made my crazy memory. I remember I used to tell that joke, and I know the joke I used to tell after that, 40 years ago. And I always tape recorded. I'm sure I told you, I tell all the kids, he's older than me. In the old days, we had a little micro cassette recorder that literally had a little tape in it. I don't know, I guess you'd do it on an iPhone now. And I always say record every show, because you record your show, you listen back. Every time you listen back, it cements what's in your act, it shows you what's not working, what you should leave out. It's very important, so I'd always record every show. Now, if you do comedy, it's so, not calculated, but it's so predictable. Like if I do 10 jokes, I know this joke on a scale from 1 to 10 gets this joke gets this is going to get this gets this gets that. Now, depending on the amount of people or how good the crowd is, the levels can be completely different, but they're still relative to each other. And I told a joke, and I'm going along, and everything's just right. Boom, boom, and I'm in the basement, another basement in Jersey. I think I lived there. And I'm killing, and all of a sudden I do this joke, and it got a laugh, got a decent laugh, but not the powerhouse laugh it always got. And I was like, wow, that's weird. But I just kept going because you can't stop. And I'm driving home. I almost drove off the damn road driving home from wherever, New Jersey. I told this joke, and it's a great, I'm sure it's all right to tell it. But the joke was the guy's getting married on Saturday. So Friday night, his friends take him out, fix him up with a couple girls, and he goes to town with these girls, and his pecker is a mangled mess from all the action. And he doesn't know what he's going to do, and the next day, here he is in the honeymoon suite, and he's a little freaked out, and he takes 2 popsicle sticks and puts them along his penis and wraps it in adhesive tape. Okay? So here they are in the honeymoon suite, and she walks out of the bathroom stark naked. She says, look, honey, untouched by human hands. And he pulls down his pants and says, look, not even out of the crate. So it's a big laugh. I'm on my way home in the car. I completely left out the part about the popsicle sticks and the tape. And they still laugh. But I was like, because people are like trained, and I'm laughing, and I'm sure they're like, what the hell is he laughing at? That's so much fun.
But we're playing Stump the Joke Man, which is basically just a setup, and then we leave the punchline for Jackie to get it, and he probably will get it. Like, for example,
Boy.
a guy, I don't know, it's always somebody in the mountains. He looks into the outhouse, because you reminded me about outhouses. And there's a quarter down there. And his friend says to him, well, what are you going to do? He goes, what are you going to do?
Boy, you're going to screw this up.
I am going to screw it up, so I'm going to stop.
He says,
well, what are you going to do?
It's not worth going in there for 25 cents. And he takes out another quarter and throws it and he says, it's worth it for 55. Because it's supposed to be
right. Yeah, set up, and then he knows the punch.
And of course it's 50, but not 55. But that's the throw-in is that it's
right. I wasn't going to bring up that 2 quarters. 2 quarters is 50 cents.
Yeah, I probably knew that going in. It never isn't interesting. And I used to do I hosted a show at Rascals Comedy Club, which was the very, very best comedy club in the world for 10 years. Long gone. And I was playing Stump the Joke Man, and we're on TV. It was live on one of those channels, Channel 3 in like 1989, whatever that would have been, long before cable or anything like that. And, well, maybe there was cable, but
it was on public access, but it was
and
popular.
This girl comes up I used to have the girls on stage, and one after the other. I'd ask them, and they'd tell me their setups, and I usually knew the jokes, and these girls would tell the filthiest, most off the track jokes, and people would go nuts when girls tell filthy jokes, and I would just revel in listening to them tell these horrible punchlines. And this one girl, I'm alluding to the fact that Jackie knows all the jokes, right? She asked me a joke, and it was such a simple joke. It was the kind of joke that, of course, I would know. And I was just completely stumped. She said, why do they bury Jewish guys standing up? And I just drew a blank. And I said, I give up. Why? And she said, so the change doesn't fall out of their pockets, okay? And I said, that is such a typical, fun, stupid joke. I can't believe I didn't know the answer. And she said, I can't believe you didn't know the answer either, because I stumped you with that same joke on the same stage last year. Okay, so obviously there are little blank places in your head. I just could not do it.
One of my jobs
I apologize to any of my
No.
friends.
That's my job. Is I apologize when we're inappropriate on so many levels.
Yeah,
but that's,
the whole thing about Jewish people being cheap is not fair. 99% of them wreck it for the other 1%. It's a little math here. You got to keep up if you want to have fun.
Okay, I want to
What, do
thank.
you have a cheat sheet?
I have a cheat sheet. I want to thank Pantano's, who provided the food. This is a terrific, terrific restaurant right here in Plainview, Pantano's, and they're great for catering, and they're right in the Plainview Shopping Center where we are, underneath Chocolate Works.
And they're going to treat us all to dinner
They,
after the show?
they provided the food outside, and I'm thanking them.
Oh,
All
thank
right.
you, Brentanos.
No, Brentano's, Pantano's.
Just take a bunch of vowels and throw up in the air.
All right. Thank you, Jackie.
You're very
Now,
welcome.
are we ready to play? What do you think? Are we ready to? Sorry.
That's my new
I know
knee.
he's got a new knee. Very expensive, and it hurts when you touch it.
Not at all.
Okay. So, are you ready to play Stump the Joke Man?
Now, the trick to this is I tell people, yes, I know all these jokes, but I'm no spring chicken. And I'm 75, and I tell people at this point in my life, sometimes things slip through the cracks. Like somebody will say, why'd the chicken cross the road? And I'll go, geez, I used to know that one, but it seems to escape me. So that's my escape hatch.
All right. I am going to utilize my appearance similar to someone our young people won't remember, but many of you will, Phil Donahue. This will only happen in Manhattan. About 6 months ago,
Phil Donahue is the only guy in show business more boring than Peter.
Again, my job is to be hurt deeply. Listen, out of the blue, 6 months ago, walking down Fifth Avenue, I didn't stop my pace. The guy coming the other way did not stop walking. He just looked at me and he said, "Hi, Phil." And I just kept going. And I just say, that's Manhattan, that's a stranger, we're passing, and it's very cool.
I didn't know what Philly meant.
Phil Donahue. All right, remember Phil Donahue used to come out into the audience? How many of you think that you can stump Jackie the Joke Man with a punchline? I mean, with the setup, he'll get the punchline. Setup is where you set up the joke, punchline is where you bring it home with a laugh. We got it? Raising your hand? All right, we're gonna go meet people, talk to them. This gentleman right here. What is your name, sir?
Les Bayer.
Les Baer with a ponytail from the 60s, and I appreciate that.
He used to go to Rum Runner.
He used to go to Rum Runner. What town do you live in?
East Meadow.
And what do you do for a living?
Sell toilet paper.
There's a joke. You sell toilet paper, and you're thanking all of us for contributing to your income. Every single one of us.
For 25 punchlines, and you're not going to go anywhere.
Well, no, I'm waiting for you to help me out. This guy sells toilet paper for a living.
How's business? In the hole?
Cleaning up.
Say it again, cleaning
Cleaning up.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, Les, and you're here with your lovely fiance. All right. Be honest. Can love be better the 15th time around?
16.
16th. Congratulations. When are you getting married?
We're not.
What did you say?
Never.
Never. Okay. You got to get on the same
They have a
page.
show business word for that. It's called a ploy.
A ploy.
A ploy.
All right, Les. Do you have a setup for Jackie? Let's see if he gets the joke.
Okay. What do Facebook and a refrigerator have in common?
Ooh, that's a good one. What do Facebook and a refrigerator have in common?
Facebook.
Facebook. Oh, this is a good one.
When you, it's going to be something about pulling out.
What do Facebook and a refrigerator have in
I
common?
have absolutely no.
Does anybody
Facebook.
think they know? Anybody think?
Well, hold on. What happens on Facebook?
People go on Facebook and post about their lives.
Okay, I have no idea. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
You know there's nothing good inside, but you keep going and opening it every 5 minutes.
He got it. Give him a hand. He got it. He got it. All right.
You forgot to throw in the disclaimer that it has to be funny.
Okay. But I do think that he deserves a prize.
I will give you an autographed shirt.
All right. Congratulations. You stumped Jackie the Joke Man. My goodness. That's
the
not
joke-
easy to do.
The joke that parallels that's actually funny is why are married men fatter than single men? And that's because single men look in the refrigerator and they don't see anything good and they go to bed. And married guys get in bed and they don't see anything good and they go to the refrigerator.
Now that's good. See that?
That's funny, Larry!
Okay, all right. Very, very, very
Marry
good.
the girl.
Very good. Who else? Right, this gentleman right over here. We're moving over to the side. Hello there. Hello there. How about a nice hand for a young Peter Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
Hello,
What is your name?
Stuart Burns,
And where are you from?
Plainview.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm an insurance agent.
An insurance agent. Boy, is he exciting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Now, do you have a punchline? Set up.
I said
First,
Okay,
I
set
want
up,
to see
set
you do
up.
a pole dance.
You want to do a pole dance? All right. What is the setup to the joke for Jackie?
Very, very, very simple. Where are the Italian Great Lakes?
Where are the
Italian Great Lakes.
Italian Great Lakes? Upper U.S.
You got it.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Now, Jackie, all the losers get a copy of my book called Long Live Long Island. Available online. Just Google it. All right.
Tell them the name of your other book, which is very funny.
It's a funny American history book called How Come They Always Had the Battles in National Parks? Which somebody actually said when I was on a tour of Gettysburg. Asked the tour guide, how come they always had the battles in national parks? And I went up to her afterwards and I said, I like how you think. How come meteors always land in craters? Think about it. Here you go. This is your prize. Now, Jackie, how did you handle it when somebody was a loser and did not stump you in the live shows?
I would have, the way I played the game was the guys would raise their hands, and when I picked on them, they'd stand up and yell the setup. But I would have the girls first come on stage, and I'd have anywhere between 3, 5, 10, 15, depending. And I'd talk to all the girls, where you from, what do you do, insult everybody, and we'd get all, and any girl that came on stage knew what was going to happen. They knew how outrageous and improper and inappropriate it was going to be. Nowadays, if I did that show, they would just back up the paddy wagon. But it was
He'd
so
be
funny.
arrested.
But if a guy or a girl asked me a joke and I knew the answer, I'd tell the crowd, if they don't stump me, we're going to call them a dick. And somebody wouldn't stump me, and I say, what's that make him? And the entire room would go, a dick! And it was just so funny. And then I'd turn to the girls and say, what'd you say? And they'd all go, a dick! And it was wrong, and it was funny. Now, I will tell you the national park joke to accompany his national park. Grandpa and his grandson, are sightseeing. And Grandpa says, Sonny boy, you see that field over there? That's where they fought the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863. And you know, Sonny boy, there's people that say the Battle of Gettysburg was the turning point of the Civil War. The kid says, duh, Grandpa. Tell me something I don't know. He says, your grandmother slept with every guy on the football team and 2 of the coaches.
All right.
We got away with that, right?
You got away with that fine.
Sure.
I think you cleaned it up a bit, didn't you?
Right.
All right. Who else? Oh, all right. Lovely lady right here. What is your name?
Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm Peter.
Wow.
That's Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Jennifer, where are you from?
Port Jeff.
Port Jefferson.
And
And
I just talked her into joining your comedy
you
class.
I have a.
Pete, I can't believe we got this far in the show without him plugging
I
his
always
stupid
get the
ass.
plug-in for my comedy class called Stand Up University that we do at the Brokerage Comedy Club in Belmore, standupuniversity.com. Thank you for setting me up for that. Usually I have to.
So many people from his comedy class applied to get on the Jay Leno show that Jay Leno retired.
Okay, so and what do you do for a living? That's what comedians always ask. What do you do for a living?
I'm a real estate agent.
Oh, testes.
I'm a,
Testes, 1, 2.
I'm a real estate agent.
You are a real estate agent.
Now, in other days, when I would be on stage and I asked the girl what she did, and she said, I'm a real estate agent, I'd say, can you tell me, is this a lot? I had one for everything. I had them everything. I had it covered. I had it covered.
Now, listen, that have been to comedy shows, that's the standard question that comedians ask audiences is, what do you do for a living? Especially the host or the MC. I one time said to a guy right down front, what do you do for a living? And this is true, I swear. He actually said to me, I disinfect bowling shoes. I could not hold back, so I'm sorry, sir, that's the lowest job I've ever heard. And then I said to the guy next to him, what do you do for a living? And he said, I'm his assistant. And true, one time right down front, I had this older, well-dressed woman. I said, what do you do for a living? She got mad at me. She yelled at me. She said, I shop and I bitch. And her husband was sitting right there, and he goes, yeah, and she's got really long hours, too. But we have a lovely real estate agent here, and you are going to give Jackie a setup. Will he get the punchline? Let's hear it.
Okay. So what do you do when you come across an elephant?
Wipe them off.
He got it. He got it. Did everybody hear? What do you do when you come across an elephant? You wipe it off.
In the 50s, what do you do if an elephant comes in the window? You swim. I think the show's going downhill ever since you said you started with Jennifer.
Well, you know what? You Jackie, because
I did the same thing you did too.
you're going to get.
I get a little hot in here. Okay, here I am.
Okay. You owe me. You owe me.
You also get a book. And you get a book, you have a T-shirt, and now I think we need a restraining order at this point.
Restraining order my ass. That was a naughty joke.
That was a very, very funny, terrific
Fantastic.
joke. I love it. Give her a hand. And of course, there is a classic joke about an elephant. I have to ask the master to tell it. I love it. There's a mouse involved and there's an elephant involved, and you got to just tell it because it is the best elephant joke there is. Go.
There's a ant running along in the jungle, and the ant is incredibly horny. The ant is on fire, and all of a sudden he runs along, and there's an elephant who's in the shade of a coconut tree, and he knocks on her toenail. And he says, "Hey, honey, can I sock it to you?" She's like, "Go ahead." So the ant scurries up the elephant's leg, pushes her tail out of the way, and he starts in, and he's going, and he's going. And all of a sudden, a breeze comes and knocks a coconut out of the tree, and it falls on the elephant's head, and bang, and the elephant goes, "Ah!" and the ant says, "Take it all, baby, take it all."
Classic. Classic indeed. I heard it with a mouse, but the ant works even better, actually, because an ant would have a smaller.
The more exaggeration, the funnier the joke.
And we're teaching comedy as we go.
You know, and talk about the way times change. When I first heard that joke, the punchline was, "Did I hurt you, honey?" And my friend Butch went to Vietnam, and he came back from Vietnam, and when he told that joke, the punchline was, "Suffer, bitch."
Yeah, suffer bitch.
It's like,
Suffer bitch was the first time I heard.
Angry
That's
joke
how I heard.
instead of a
That's
hopeful,
how I
joyful
heard. All right, we got time for a couple more. Oh, right down front, and then you go, oh, I think we got one over here. Okay. What is your name?
Stu Greenberg.
Stu Greenberg. Where are you from?
Coram.
Beautiful Coram here on Long Island. And what do you do for a living?
I'm retired, so I do nothing, and the biggest problem I have is never knowing when I'm done.
Very good. See?
There you
See
go.
that?
We don't even need me.
You don't need you. I've been saying that.
Actually, you know, when I get somebody who says in the audience, I do nothing, I usually say, oh, that you work for the county? And people get angry. Okay. So, do you have a setup?
Why do people that work for the county, why don't they look out the window in the morning?
Why?
They'd have nothing to do in the afternoon.
That's it right
It's
there.
the same joke. It's all the same.
It's all connected. All right, what's your setup for Jackie?
Okay, in keeping with the elephant, what's harder than getting a pregnant elephant in a Volkswagen?
Getting an elephant pregnant in a Volkswagen. Very good.
All right. You didn't quite get it, but it looks like we're giving out prizes to everybody. Okay.
We're good sports.
Oh, we got a couple. We're going to get to all of you. We'll save the lady for last. Right here, this nice gentleman. I'm going way in the back. What is your name, sir?
Chuck Herman,
Chuck. How you doing? And where are you from?
Hicksville.
Beautiful Hicksville here on Long Island. And what do you do for a living?
Tired.
Retired. County. Right, never mind. What is your setup for Jackie?
Is our whole audience retired?
Pretty much.
Good.
Okay.
What do you get when you throw a hand grenade on a kitchen floor?
Linoleum blown apart.
Napoleon blown apart. Oh, he's good.
Woman?
He's good.
I swear I remember a woman in a place called Shirley's in Lexington, Kentucky, stumped me with that joke in like 1985, and I see her when I hear that joke. As absurd as that sounds, I swear to you. She stumped me.
Napoleon blown apart.
That's a creative joke.
No, linoleum blown apart. It's a play on the name Napoleon. Which reminds me that Napoleon was the emperor of France following the French Revolution. Sorry. Who else? Right here. You got one? And you. Oh, okay.
Napoleon said to his top aide, he said,
see, you set him
Napoleon
up.
said to his top aide, I really don't know what uniform to wear. And his top aide says, you know, a lot of the generals, before they go into battle, they wear red uniforms. That way, if they're wounded, they won't see it and they won't panic. And Napoleon says, excellent. Get me my brown uniform.
That's a great joke.
Of course, that's a great joke.
What's your name?
Jason Simmons,
Jason, where are you from?
Oceanside.
Oceanside. You have to applaud if you love the town, especially if you're from there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a gemologist.
You're a gemologist. I'm not sure what a gemologist. You sell gems.
I'm a diamond wholesaler.
You're a diamond wholesaler. And did you
Whoa.
bring samples for everyone to take home with the chicken wings?
A little bag around my neck.
All right. Well, do you have a setup for the joke man?
Sure. What happened to the Jewish man who had a heart-on when he accidentally walked into the wall?
He broke his nose.
Okay, thank you.
Now, you're a diamond salesman? So a girl's sitting on a plane. And the guy sitting next to her says, I'm a diamond salesman. I'm a jeweler. And I can't help but notice that ring, that diamond you're wearing, it's spectacular. I've never seen anything like that. She says, well, this is the Klopman diamond. It's one of the top 5 diamonds in the entire world. And I wear it with pride. I really love it. But it comes with a curse. He says, what's the curse? She says, Mr. Klopman.
That's good. That's very good. And tell me your name. This lovely lady's here.
Carol Kenny,
Carol Kenny is here. From what town?
Long Beach, New York, not California.
Not California. Long Beach. That's a great town. Wherever you are in Long Island, somebody says Long Beach, you have to go, it's an hour to get there.
Yeah.
It's an hour. And who, I'm just taking a guess here, but who are you here with? I think I have a feeling. Who?
My lovely mother.
She's with her mother. Isn't that nice? And you're,
Come on, that's your sister.
that's your sister. All right. You're damn right.
You're damn right.
All right.
Single.
Now, she's single.
Oh, my God.
Take it easy, Jack.
So am I now.
Oh, now, what's your mom's name? It's
Carol?
both Carol. You, oh, that's so nice. Welcome to the mother-daughter team. And the daughter has a setup.
Okay, so did you hear the one about the shepherd who drove his sheep through town and was given a ticket? What did he get a ticket for?
Oh, shepherd. Got a ticket.
He drove
What?
his-
What did he get a
his herd
ticket?
into town. Oh, this is one of those great puns. Drove his herd into town, disturbing the. You know, we could be here all day. I'll never think of it.
Oh, you were gonna. Oh, you're gonna.
All right, hold on. I'll keep
Hold
it.
you-
I just am amazed that these people come in here with a one-line joke and they got to read it.
She looked it
So
up.
the shepherd came into town with his flock, and you did not tell us what kind of animal.
I did. You want to read it again? He drove his shepherd who drove his sheep through town and was given a ticket for.
Wow, woolly sheep.
Sheep.
God, this is going to be so easy. Go ahead.
For making illegal U-turn.
Making an illegal U-turn. U-turn.
You
Well-
see this? You almost won that.
It's been a while since I've seen an audience get physically angry at a joke somebody told. Making a U-turn.
I don't remember the ones that aren't funny because there's not enough room.
Oh, it's
That,
there.
that was
Okay.
fun. You won
I'm,
fair and square.
all right. You know what? We're getting. We're gonna get. I see 3 more hands from all lovely ladies. Okay. So I'm gonna go
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
because I forgot my pills. All right. Here we go. What is your name?
Carla.
Carla from where?
Calverton.
Calverton. Okay. A little out
Calverton?
east. Calverton. We love it. What do you do for a living?
Did you know Susan Hollingsworth? Susan Hollingsworth was a beautiful girl that used to come to see my band, and then she started coming to see me play by myself, playing my guitar. And one night I brought my father with me to see me play and sing. And she came home with me, and as I was driving my father home, he tried to make out with Susan Hollingsworth. And my sister and my mother and my brother, nobody ever believed that story, but it's an absolute true story.
And it's disturbing.
And she went
Very
home with him.
disturbing.
She went home with him.
Oh my God.
You were going to say your sister and your mother were in the car with you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, do you have a setup for the joke man?
Yes. How come women are a terrible judge of distance?
Because their whole life they've been taught that that's 6 inches.
You cannot
That's
beat that.
That's such a great joke.
That is a great joke. Now we're going to save you for last. I'm going to run way to the
In
back.
case you're curious,
Way in the back here.
8
We can
inches.
do this.
which is too
Now,
wide. It's too
hi.
wide for a
Now,
lot
what
of
is your name?
Tina.
Tina, where are you
He's got a
from?
great joke. He's got to talk
Massapequa.
over the whole goddamn.
Wait, say where?
Massapequa.
Massapequa, Long Island, South Shore. South Shore. And what do you do for a living?
I'm in medical equipment financing.
Okay, did you see the way she said that? Way too complicated to explain to a moron comedian. Oh, no, I think it's terrific. Do you have a setup for Jackie the Joke Man?
I do.
Go.
Are you ready, Jackie?
I'm mad at Massapequa.
I
am
are we
very
all?
mad. First there was the Baldwins, and then it was
Listen, I'm also in
Seinfeld,
real estate,
and then
so
the
if you're
Stuttering
looking to buy,
John,
sell, or
and then the
invest, let me know.
goddamn serial killer.
Yeah, I know.
They're
So-
really on a roll. Wah, like
Okay,
that.
it's tough.
I put out they put out a documentary on me. It took 8 years. They slaved over this thing for 8 years, and finally it was released. And the day it was released, They found this stupid serial. 20 years they looked for this idiot, and they found him the same day as my stupid release. What documentary? Nobody knows. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, thanks
I
for-
had to vent.
Well, okay.
That son of a... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have a setup here to a joke.
So why did God invent infections?
Why did
women.
God invent...
Infections for women?
Irritating infection.
Irritating infections for women.
Well, irritating should not be in the setup. So they would know what it's like to live with an irritating, and you can't say the next word.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Can you?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because this is a family show.
In the filthiest
But let's
shows I ever
all-
do, you can't say that. It gets everybody too upset.
Part of my job is to apologize.
Not for me, but it's a great joke.
No,
Don't
it's-
get me wrong. You know.
Thank you.
What'd one tampon say to the other one? Nothing. They were both stuck up.
Okay. Now see that
But
we
that
get.
used to have that word at the end, but it don't need it. See?
All right. We have time for one more, and I bet it's going to be a good one.
Time for one more. Where are you going? We're going to go get a hamburger. Yeah, let's get out of here, man.
We have time for 50 more. No, we have a lovely lady over here. And your name is?
Elise,
Hi, Elise. Elise, and where are you from?
Sayville.
Sayville. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a registrar in a high school.
A registrar in a high school.
Ah.
I'd say probably half of the people here know what a registrar does. You keep attendance, right?
Transcripts, grades,
Oh,
schedules.
transcripts, grades, schedules.
Schedules,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Okay.
And you have.
So here we are in high school. And the teacher says, all right, class, tomorrow I want you to come in and tell me all the positions you can come up with for making love. And the next day she says, all right, John, how many positions did you come up with for making love? And he says, 73. He's like, geez, okay. Mary, how many positions did you come up with? She says, gee, teacher, I only came up with one, where the man gets on top of the woman. Johnny says, 74!
That's a good joke.
I haven't told that joke in 3 decades.
All right, what is your setup?
Okay, so what does a man and a computer have in common?
What does a man and a computer have in common?
This can't have floppy in it.
No.
No.
Okay.
On a computer. When they go down, how are they alike?
Pretty close.
What's the difference?
Pretty close.
When a computer goes down, it's not good.
Is he getting close?
Very close. Oh, yeah.
Would you like to act this one out? No. No, sorry. Did I say that?
He doesn't have to act it out.
No, I didn't mean to. I don't know how that slipped out.
All right, go ahead. What's your version?
What's your version?
Okay, so you don't appreciate them till they go down on you.
That is great. That is great. I think she's a winner.
She's getting a shirt, but I would say
You were close.
I wasn't close.
You were in the ballpark. You were very close.
I think Jackie should get a book.
It wasn't that good.
I don't know. He just said, I think Jackie should get a book. Those of you, I hope you heard it at home. And I'll tell you something, I really hate it when the audience is funnier than we are. And that is not what we want.
And I like it when the girls tell the oral sex jokes. That's what I appreciate.
You're going to get your friggin' t-shirt.
Because I was going to hand deliver it. That's why.
This has been terrific. You have been a terrific live audience. Let me just remind you, this is Stand Up Memories Podcast. We come out with new shows every Wednesday, and you can catch us on YouTube and all the audio platforms, and subscribe on YouTube and like us on Facebook, and we're going to keep going. And
I have a question.
yes.
Did this go out live as we did it?
No, we're going to start any moment now.
No. Did it go out live? But it's going to be posted?
Yes, it went out live, but of course they taped it, and they're going to be playing it all
Because
week.
people
It's
want
an-
to see themselves in the
Yes,
movies.
now you can go and watch it, which is great, and you can be very, very proud. And this was
I would like to take the opportunity to beg each of you to please rent or buy the documentary Joke Man. I promise you'll enjoy it. It's on like Amazon and Apple, all those. It's not in the main. You got to do the search, but all you got to do is like J-O or J-O-K, and it pops right up. And the reviews are really great. If you enjoy it, tell somebody. And it's like that. It took me 75 years and finally came out. And then they caught the serial killer. So
I've just been requested by our executive producer. Anybody have any questions they'd like to ask about Jackie or me or the podcast or the causes of World War I? Anything that you're wondering?
did he
about?
tell you to stretch?
No, I was just said. Anybody, do you like the idea of us once in a while doing a live show? Would you come back? Would you come back for all different jokes?
Okay, I want to say something here.
All right.
When I first got here, I was sitting back there drinking a cup of coffee, and 3 or 4 of you guys came over, and we started chatting, and these guys were asking questions at random, and it was so fun. And I swear, if we had taped that little session, you and you guys, it was so fun, and it was your feedback and how you know of me and the interesting. Do you agree? It was just wonderful.
yeah.
So I think that's the kind of thing. Almost like a coffee clutch. And I think we should do it. Huh?
Any of those questions they can share with you? I'd love to know that.
Well, the main thing is Peter wasn't there. No, we were just shooting the breeze. Nothing really important. You know, Jackie, I first saw you in 1885. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. But nothing earth-shattering, right?
I'll share something if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I got to be over here with the mic.
I'll stand up for you.
Don't
ahead.
embarrass me, you.
Well, knowing you for so many years, and I just wanted to say when I came in and we talked that I had mentioned that if there was a Hall of Fame for stand-up comedians, that in my eyes and in many eyes that you would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that
I'm
nice?
starting to remember why I enjoyed the conversation.
That is, thank
That's
you.
one of
That's
those
very.
lines. Even if he's lying, I'll take it.
Oh, isn't that
Thank
nice? We got another hand in the back. Okay.
How did you guys meet?
How did Jackie and I meet? How did we meet? How did Jackie and
I'll tell you how we met.
Yeah. Well, don't tell the men's room episode.
There was, we weren't getting paid at this horrible little variety showcase called Richard M. Dixon's White
Yeah.
House Inn.
Yeah.
And it was me and Richie Minervini dragged me there, and Bob Nelson was there, and Rob Bartlett was there, and Eddie Murphy was there, and a whole slew of people. And this club was owned by a guy who had his face surgically altered to look like Richard M. Nixon. And I'm not making that up, and the name of his club was Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn, right in Hicksville, and he wouldn't pay us. And so we found a restaurant in Huntington and said, listen, let us do comedy here on Tuesdays. You'll get a lot of people drinking, you sell lots of food, and let us charge at the door and we'll keep the money. So we started doing that. And word got into New York City where Peter Bales, with the people he started with, Jerry Seinfeld, Dennis Wolfberg, Larry Miller, Paul Reiser, Carol Leifer, who's the girl that Elaine from Seinfeld is based on, all these people, they got wind of the shows we were doing because we were paying people like $50. And when they're working in Manhattan, they're working and they're getting like $5 and a hamburger. And all of a sudden they find out they can come out to Long Island, get $50, get stoned, get drunk, maybe get laid, have the time of a lifetime. And Peter was at a premium because he had a car. Well, in addition
That's
to
true.
being very funny. And he came up to me, probably the first time he came out, and said, I used to come to see your band in the 70s, because I'm from Locust Valley, And the word got out. There was it was a local Oyster Bay night. Tuesday nights, it was me and another guy playing guitar. And we'd have 200 people on a dance floor dancing to two guys playing guitar. It was a phenomenon. Everybody was so drunk. My future ex-wife at the time, Nancy, she was the head waitress, and she hated Tuesday nights because the Oyster Bay crowd drank every penny they had. They never made a penny in tips because these guys and girls drank and drank and drank. And Peter came out and he said, this is such a great thing. He said, you know, you really should come into the comic strip and audition. I bet you could pass. And so I owe everything to him, and I wound up coming to the comic strip, and dear friends ever since. Am I?
Absolutely.
How close is that?
Absolutely. I've never seen him be nice before. No, thank you, Jackie. And he mentioned...
I didn't like him, but I thought he could help me.
Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn was a place where all the Long Island comics started. Richard M. Dixon, he looked like Nixon, changed his name, Richard M. Dixon. Years later, I was actually reading a scholarly book about Watergate. And some of you older folks might have heard that he had an enemies list with all kinds of famous politicians and actors on it. And the last name on the list was Richard M. Dixon. He made Nixon's enemies list. Did you know that?
You never told me
I never
that.
told you that, but I swear it's true. I mean, that's one of those nutty, nutty things.
The greatest story about him, to me, there was a very fat comedian named Bob Woods, who everybody loved. He was just one of these characters. He didn't care what he said to anybody. He was an impressionist. And he used to do The Honeymooners Get High. And supposedly Eddie Murphy helped himself to that for Saturday Night Live. But it's not that wild a concept. Anybody could have come up with it. But the first night I met Woods, Dixon would not pay us. He'd give us $5 and that was it, but we were allowed to drink. So when we got done with the show, we would sit at the bar and drink and drink. And Woods was a big drinker, a big fat guy, and I was a big drinker. And everybody's gone, and me and Woods are sitting at the bar, and Dixon's wife, Maddie, is so pissed off because she wants to go home. And me and Woods are drinking and drinking. Finally, Dixon had just anger or whatever you call it, just frustration. He got one of those plastic boxes, trays or whatever you call it, a bus box, and he started going around to the tables and picking up the glasses and the silverware and the napkins off the tables. And the night I met Bob Woods, I said, you know, Woods, I think we got to go home. I'm so drunk that the goddamn bus boys are starting to look like Nixon. He said, you're all right, pal. You're all right.
Bob Woods, a famous comedian who left us in 1990, believe it or not.
Wow.
Way too early, and because you told me you go way back to the beginning of Long Island comedy. And you learn. I'll start the story, Jackie will finish it. Bob Woods did an impression of Phil Rizzuto, a lot of you remember, and performed it to great acclaim on Long Island. But when he went to New Jersey to do it for the first time, what happened, Jackie?
We were brand new. And I had met this guy who had a couple shows, and I had an amplifier and speakers and a microphone, which is what we used to put on the first show at Cinnamon in Huntington that grew into the East Side Comedy Club. But I put on shows everywhere. And this guy I met at the Rainy Night House in Queens said, listen, I got a couple shows going, but I only got one amplifier. I got extra shows. Would you like to take over Mustache Pete's in Haskell? I said, sure. It's so funny because I still have the book he gave me, and it's in his handwriting, and then it morphs into my handwriting. And, it's got Murphy and Reiser and Overton and Seinfeld and Bales, all of us in there. It was so much fun. But we're brand new. And we're going to work in Haskell, New Jersey. And Woods, in his routine, which killed on Long Island, said, I'm Phil Rizzuto from the Money Store. If you live or work in New Jersey, holy cow, does it stink in that state? And anybody from Long Island that ever went to the Jersey Turnpike, you smelled it. And here we are in Haskell, New Jersey, and he goes, "Holy cow, does it stink in that state?" I thought I was going to pee my pants. I screamed, and he goes, maybe not here, huh, folks? Maybe not here. Oh, what a class.
But you learn, you got to know who you're talking to. Jackie had a show in Bayville at a place called Reinhardt's, packed every week, hundreds of people. And
it's now the Crescent Beach Club.
It's now upscale, but when Jackie had it, of course, it was downscale. But I gotta tell you, you gotta know who you're talking to, because a guy came out from a meeting from another room. What did you say to him?
It was a big, big room. So they had one of those fake walls that they pull across to cut the room in half. And I put the little stage in front of it. I had a big, huge sheet that had a caricature of me and long smiling, all-star comedy review. I mean, it was just crazy. But on Thursday nights in 1979, the place would be packed, and people came out from the city. Like, I don't think Seinfeld came, but Larry Miller and Paul Reiser and Carol, all these people would come, and it was just great. So much fun. And I didn't realize it, but they were having a board meeting for Bayville in the back room. And I guess they came walking through the door. And, and I didn't remember, but I went away on a Windjammer barefoot cruise. And when I got off the airplane, my friend Red picked me up, and I said, "All right, give me the worst news first." He says, "We lost Reinhardt's." I said, "We pack that place every week. They make a fortune. How'd we lose Reinhardt's?" He said, "Because you told the mayor of Bayville that he had a bald forehead from doing U-turns under the sheets."
You got to know who you're talking to. All right, one more hand for Jackie the Joke Man, Martling. Now we all remember the name of the show, Stand Up Memories, YouTube, all the audio platforms, and we're going to be hitting you with new shows every Wednesday, and we're going to do it live again. And we want you to come if you're watching at home. We want you guys to come back.
Thank you to Carolyn. Thank you to
Carolyn,
Thank
Michael,
you.
Freddie, Nicole. Give them a hand. Our stand-up band. Thank you, Carolyn, Michael, Freddie, Nicole. And I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down. I've been to catch my breath. I don't even think I need this anymore, right? Michael, I'm okay? Okay, I can put this down. And I just want to say, you know what I really want to say is thank you for supporting live comedy, not staying home watching TV like everybody else, coming out and making tonight happen.
The best thing you could do, and I don't know anything about this, is to go on Facebook or whatever it is and make a comment that the live show was great fun or whatever. Anything to kick up dust. Am I right about that?
Right, you're exactly right. Stand-up memories.
Like and share. Absolutely.
Yep, subscribe. What did you say? You said, what? Oh, comment. Comment, like, and share. Oh, I should have.
I thought that was like a group in the 60s.
That was. And again, so thank you. This was a lot of fun. I want to do this again. I can't wait. Yeah. I am Peter Bales.
Now we will end. We'll end with an inappropriate joke. A cab driver picks up a nun, and he looks in the rearview mirror and says, "Sister, I've always fantasized about fooling around with a nun." She says, "Yeah, you and everybody else. Are you Catholic?" "Yeah, I am." She says, "Pull over." And he pulls over, and she gets in and slides over and gives him a huge, wet, disgusting French kiss. And he pushes her away and he says, "Sister, I got to tell you something. I'm not really Catholic." She says, "Yeah, my name's Ralph. I'm going to a costume park."
We'll see you next time on Stand Up Memories. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Everyone a fun family man. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, that was terrific. Thank you. We're clear, right?
Yeah, clear.
Okay.
You want to take pictures with any?